a Russian military helicopter firing flares to evade a missile, an explosion at a fuel depot, and troops fortifying the capital city. These were just some of the chaotic images seen in Russia over the weekend as the country's largest private army turned against the country's leadership. The Wagner group is led by this man, Yevgeny Prigozhin. He says he sent Wagner forces deep into Russian territory after a substantial amount of his troops were killed by a Russian missile strike.
Это не военный переворот, это марш справедливости. Наши действия никак не мешают войскам.
The Wagner group was hired to fight as shock troops in Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Their most notable offensive was in the Ukrainian city of Bakhmut, where they made significant gains compared to their regular army counterparts. But on Saturday, Wagner forces crossed the border back into Russia, towards the city of Rostov. This is one of Russia's main logistics hubs for its invasion of Ukraine and home to several military bases. But in just a few hours, Wagner tanks and soldiers had fully occupied the city. They were greeted with cheers from the people living there, images which were of huge concern to the Russian government.
Мы находимся в штабе, 7 часов 30 минут утра, под контролем военные объекты Ростова, в том числе аэродром.
In response, Russian President Vladimir Putin issued an arrest warrant for Prigozhin and described the group's actions as mutiny.
Мы не дадим этому повториться. Защитим и наш народ, и нашу государственность от любых угроз. В том числе от внутреннего предательства. А то, с чем мы столкнулись, это именно предательство.
After taking Rostov in the south, Wagner forces then began moving north up the M4 highway to the city of Voronezh. This road is a straight shot to the capital Moscow, and on the way, Russian forces opened fire on the group. In the ensuing fight, a fuel depot exploded, and Wagner forces reportedly shot down 6 Russian helicopters and 1 airplane. The Wagner group was just 200 kilometers away from Moscow when a deal with the Russian government was reached.
Сейчас наступил тот момент, когда кровь может пролиться. Поэтому, понимая всю ответственность за то, что будет пролита русская кровь с одной из сторон, мы разворачиваем свои колонны и уходим в обратном направлении в полевые лагеря согласно плану.
Yevgeny is now reportedly in exile in Belarus, and all charges against him have been dropped. Analysts around the world are highlighting the speed at which his rebellion took place. In less than 24 hours, Wagner forces managed to pose a significant threat to Putin's leadership. And all of this happened as Ukraine makes steady gains in its ongoing counteroffensive against Russian forces.
This is a push for Putin to think about the restructuring, or perhaps restructuring the Ministry of Defense and putting somebody much more capable with military experience, or with greater military experience than Defense Minister Shoigu. But it's difficult because it's difficult to find people whom you can trust and who will not stab you in the back, especially in a country like Russia.
Wagner forces are now headed back to Ukraine as part of Russia's invasion forces. But while it was short-lived, this 24-hour rebellion almost triggered a war inside Russia's borders, something that will be deeply worrying for Vladimir Putin. Alex Chen and Jaime Ocon for TaiwanPlus.